I told you, lady, that I love you. If I didn't, darling, I'm sorry.
Been together forever, fuck the weather, she ain't never changed. If I lose, you ain't gon' charge it to the game. I'm the one to blame, pleasure over pain. Sorry that you came, put money over fame, never been the same. But I've been deranged, never went insane. All them darker nights, they turn to brighter days. Told you that I never leave your side. Yeah, you always on my mind. I know you down to ride. Through the winter, you a prize. Trophy in disguise, you know it's up, I never lie. Down is where they try to keep me stuck, but I'm up high. Pockets blue just like the sky. I know they wonder why. I know they wonder why.
Yo, welcome to the BMW Trading Podcast, and on this episode, we're going to be talking about consistency. Alright, now if you don't know me, my name is DSCO33. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, they're like the main two social media platforms that I be on, so follow me on them too at DSCO33, alright? And then, like, if you need to get up with me any other way, follow, like, just get in the comments, especially on YouTube, get in the comments, just let me know what's going on, ask me any questions, I'm most likely going to answer, you know? So, first things first, we're talking about consistency. Right, so what is consistency? Consistency is just a repeated action over and over until the desired outcome is achieved. Okay, so with that being said, like, if I was to, I don't know, man, like, if I'm trying to become good at shooting, you know what I'm saying, shooting basketball, I'm talking about shooting basketball, right? If I'm trying to become good at shooting basketball, I have to, like, consistently shoot the basketball. That's, like, number one. Like, I gotta always shoot, always take my time to go shoot, practice shooting, because that's what's going to help me to have a better skill at shooting. That's why consistency is so important, is because you want to be able to develop a skill, right? That's the desired outcome, to become great at something, right? And that's mainly what I like to talk about, like mainly why I do the podcast, because I want you to become great at what you do, not just because you just want to become like good at it or you want to just make a couple of dollars here and there from it. Like, I want you to become great at it. So I have to teach you about certain things like consistency, like what was it, like being dedicated, you know, like actually going for what you want. Like, I've talked to you about cryptos and I talked to you about Forex and things like that, but understand that I've been consistent with those things too. Like, I've dabbled in them for a long time, at least like 5 years, to become good at those things, right? So consistency, right? On the road to becoming really consistent, or just being on the consistent road, right? You get tempted, you get distracted by new strategies or different concepts that sometimes they feel necessary for you to get to that next step. But all in all, you need to be able to break it down to the bare minimum and just do the fundamentals consistently, right? The fundamentals consistently. So, like I say, when it comes to shooting the basketball, first things first, you probably want to like make sure you understand your form, right? And then once you get in that form, like, become consistent with that form. Do the same form every time, because you know it's going in. If it's not broke, you don't need to fix it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, get consistent with what you already do. Like with me, I trade on the foreign exchange market all the time. And when I trade, I have a consistent way as to how I break down the market, whether it be on the weekly time frame, 4-hour time frame, the 5-minute time frame. It doesn't matter. I look at the market the same, because it's about consistency. Once you have that consistent like view, the consistent point of view, that consistent perspective on something, like, it's easy for you to actually understand what's going on every time you get into it, right? So where do you usually see consistency at in your life? Just think about if you were in school, right? Like, you always get homework. And why do you always get homework? So you understand what's being taught. You always got more homework that are in the same subjects, same classes, so that way it sticks into your brain, because your brain understands things through repetition. And like I told you, consistency is a repeated action over and over until the desired outcome is achieved. So you're always going to get homework. You have the same classes daily just for the same reason, right? Now just think about hygiene. When you wake up in the morning, don't you always brush your teeth? Isn't that like a daily thing? I hope it is, right? If it's not, you know, that's an issue. But if it is, then that's how you see the consistency in just your everyday life. Not even when you go to school, not from any businesses that you deal with, but just what you do on a daily basis. You wake up, shower, brush your teeth, you put on smell goods, you know what I'm saying? You actually get dressed and you get ready to go for your day. But that brushing your teeth, those hygiene things, like, it's important that you do those every day. So that way you're always at the top of your game. Now, let's break it down to a whole nother science where you see consistency at. I'm pretty sure we all follow like our favorite influencers, entertainers, on social media. And those same people are so consistent. Like, they're dropping a new post every day. They're always working on new projects. They're always like releasing new things. Like, and the reason why is because consistency elevates you to another level. The more you see something, the more you're going to want to be a part of it. And that's just facts. Like, that's like known marketing. That's like just known science. Like, the more you see it, you're going to be like, okay, I relate to that because it happens to you, or you always see that same thing, which is a consistent perspective, consistent point of view, right? So like I said, with these influencers, like, you're going to consistently see them post because they want you to consistently love their brand, consistently like their brand. They're going to continuously get you to join in, right? So like I already told you, like, consistency is so important. It can take you from crawling to walking to running with your business, with your dream, with your life. Only thing you got to do is start becoming consistent. Like, and I know a lot of times it seems like it's hard to get there. It's hard to develop that consistency just because, like, you haven't done it yet. Or it's like you get on this path, you start being consistent, and then you fall off, which is what that happens to me all the time. Like, I'll be consistent for like 2-3 days, and then something will happen, I'll be like, man, I ain't doing that today. You know what I'm saying? I'll leave it alone. But it's like, you have to become consistent after day 3, after day 4, after day 5. Like, you have to become consistent when nobody else is being consistent anymore. And the main reason why is because that's what's going to elevate you. Like I said about the influencers, we can take it back to shooting the basketball. Look at Steph Curry, Ray Allen, Michael Jordan. Like, beat greats were consistent at practice. They shoot 500 before, 500 after practice. Just working on their form, just the consistency, the muscle memory. Like I say, once it's into your brain, like, you start to do it without thinking about it. And that's what really develops your art. Like, the fact that you could do it without thinking about it. Like, you just do it, you know, and like, that's what helps you to become the best because it's second nature to you now. All right. So like I say, without consistency, you don't really show, like, it doesn't really show you, let me take that back. Consistency shows how serious you are about something. It shows how important it is to you, right? Like, if you're always like with me, I go to the studio, I try and go to the studio at least once a day, or at least like 5 times throughout the week. You know, it's only 7 days in a week, so I'm only missing like 2 days, if anything, and I really don't like to do that either. I like to at least write a song a day. Main reason is because, like, the more that I make songs, the better I get at making, and the better my bar structure gets, the better my tone gets when I'm rapping, the better, like, just my flows get, because I'm getting more consistent within myself, you know. So it shows how serious I am about my craft, and that's the thing about being consistent. Like, most people get consistent within their craft, within their niche. Like, we all have strengths. Like, one of my friends, he designs clothes, right? So his niche is like, first of all, it's about making the design, making the art itself, and then like the heat pressing thing, like, and then actually promoting it. Like, those are like the 3 main things I would say. So it's like, but first he developed that skill of even just developing the designs. Like, he had to get consistent with that, because in the beginning nobody's really ever good. Like, when I first started playing baseball, I was not good. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've always been athletic, so I could always play. I've always played the game. But then when it came to hitting, which is where you need to be the most consistent at in baseball, I was always bad at knife. So if you play baseball, you know what I mean, it means a bad knife. That was me. I was that dude. Like, really shouldn't have been batting at all. They could have designated hitting me every game. But I was like 10, you know, so they wanted to like help my ego get better. But see, even the consistency with me not being good, me always striking out, that helped me to get better at baseball. You feel me? Like, the fact that I just kept doing it, the fact that my coaches wouldn't let me not hit, that helped me to get better by the time I got to high school. By the time I got to high school, I'm not saying I was batting 400, but like, I was doing way better than I was when I was a shorty. And like, that's why it's like, consistency, you have to become consistent with what you do, because that'll help you get better over time. All right. Now, consistency also helps you build a foundation for success, right? And the main reason why I'm saying that is because day 1, day 2, day 3, those are like the first few days of you deciding that I want to become great at shooting the basketball, right? So like, them like the first 2-3 days, and like, it's easy to start off and like go 3 days hard, but like the 4th day, the 5th day, the 6th day, those are the times where you're tired of being consistent, or you're tired, like your brain is tired of doing the same thing. It's like it wants to revert back to its old ways, but you fighting your brain and fighting the way like that you want to go, fighting the old path, like your old you, and like actually focusing in on what it is that you want, whether it be you becoming, like, you going to the NBA, whether it be you going to the NFL, whether it be you winning a Grammy, whether it be you like filming the best movie in the world. Like, it starts them first 2-3 days of you actually being like, I'm gonna do this, and like just getting it in your brain that you're gonna go, and then continuously doing that every day, feeling that energy within inside of you and actually doing that. Consistency is the foundation for success. If you don't have a level of consistency within your life, if you don't really see it, right? Like I just gave you a couple ways how you see it in school every day. You always got homework. You always got to brush your teeth. Like you always see people posting. Like the people that you see posting every day, that's their consistency. Like you have to be consistent with your posts because you always want people to see you, right? Same thing right here. Like when you're developing your success, like in the beginning stages, this is where you're gonna grow at the most, because you're fighting the old you now. And as you get farther and farther on your journey, you start to see like, this is what I really want. Okay? Like I said, it's everyday progression. It's not a happen overnight thing. Like, remember, when we take it back to the beginning of this whole episode, I told you consistency is repeated action over and over until the desired outcome is achieved. Right? So the desired outcome might not come for 2 to 3 to 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Like it might take you a while for you to become the greatest, or it might take you for a while for you to even start making money from your business. It might take you a long time, but it's an everyday process. It's an everyday progression. Like as long as you keep doing it every day, as long as you keep working on your business every day, as long as you keep reading that book every day, eventually you'll get to the end. And that's the goal. Like not necessarily to get to the end, but to get to that desired outcome. You feel me? So there's a couple different ways that you can develop consistency, right? I'm gonna give you guys like two to three easy ways that you can develop your consistency. One is just by taking accountability of your actions. So taking accountability, right, is the fact of being responsible for what you do and being able to give a satisfactory reason for it. So you have to be accountable for your own actions every day, right? Like I say, like you want to become the greatest basketball player, you want to become the greatest 3-point shooter, right? So take accountability for your actions. Why aren't you going to practice? Why aren't you like shooting 500 shots a day, 500 shots before practice, after practice, in the middle of practice? Fuck it, like, man, why aren't you shooting more? You know what I'm saying? Like, why aren't you giving more to your craft? That's on you. You have to take accountability for your actions the actions that you make every day, the choices that you make every day. Like, you have to take accountability for yourself, right? Now, here's one thing that you can always do. You can outsource your accountability, right? So how do you outsource? How do I outsource accountability? If I'm telling you to take accountability for your own actions, right? How can you outsource accountability if I'm telling you take accountability for your own actions? There's somebody out there that believes in you. There's somebody out there that trusts you, that actually think that you can go all the way. There's somebody out there that probably doesn't think that you can go all the way, but they don't have nothing else to do with their time. So when you call them, you know what I'm saying? Like, call them and be like, watch me shoot these 500 shots. Count them out for me. You know what I'm saying? Count them out loud for me. Or when it's like, all right, but I got to start getting consistent with my meditation. I got to get consistent with my prayer. Call somebody on the phone and be like, sit here while I do this 5-minute meditation real quick. Just stay on the phone. So that way somebody can be like, I seen you do it. Good job. You know what I'm saying? Actually give you credit for doing it. Because sometimes in this world that we live in, like, we all want instant gratification. It's hard to say that you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I trade on the foreign exchange market rather than trade stocks, because I know stocks is more of a long game. You know what I'm saying? But if I trade Forex, I could probably make that money today and be fine. I'm going to make that money today and be fine, right? But saying regardless, like, having that gratification, the fact that you actually did it, the fact that you did what you said you were going to do today, that makes you feel better about yourself, and that also ultimately boosts your morale, ultimately boosts your confidence, and your confidence helps you to stay consistent too, because if you're doing something and you're not good at it, you're going to want to give up. Trust me. I used to play video games, 2K, Madden. It don't matter. Call of Duty. It don't matter. I was losing. Made me want to give. I don't play video games to this day because I was always losing. I promise you. I have 2 other brothers, older cousins, younger cousins that do like that game. I don't. Like, I make music. I found something that fits me, you know, because it's like, shit, I don't want to always keep losing. Nobody does. Nobody wants to always lose. But you actually trying and participating, like, that's going to make you better, right? It's going to make you better in the long run. But you have to find a way to outsource your accountability sometimes, because it's hard for you to do it for yourself. Like I say, if you're always losing to yourself, you're going to want to quit. But if you're practicing, you're getting better, somebody's watching you and telling you that you're going to get better consistently, like, you're going to start to get that into your brain too, and you will eventually grow into that, I got this. I don't need the accountability partner no more. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to outsource my accountability. I got it on my own, right? So here's another way that you can actually, like, develop your consistency is by scheduling, right? By filling out your calendar. Okay, so the reason why this works is because when you have a calendar, most of the time it's hung up in a place where you can see it. My dad likes to keep his calendar on his refrigerator. I like to keep my calendar like right next to my TV because I'm always watching TV. So it's like if I can see my calendar when I'm watching TV, I know like, all right, bet I gotta make sure I handle that today too. When I first wake up, it's more so to like pray. I mean, not just because to pray, but like, you know, when I wake up, I pray, I meditate. Like I say, brush my teeth, wash my face. But when I first wake up, pray and meditate, my calendar is right next to my TV. When I first wake up, I look and see that. So I know what has to happen for today. I've already scheduled it out. I'm already ready for my day. It's already planned. So that helps me to just knock everything out. It helps me to set my intentions for the day, which is very important, especially when you're like first starting out with your consistency. You're first starting out with your just like, you come to the realization that you can have it all. So it's like when you get on that path to doing that, you have to know what you're doing daily because it can get swayed. Like people are going to come into your life. People are going to, like I said before, you're going to come into these distractions. You're going to get tempted to do other things. Like there's going to be other concepts, other ways, other variables that's going to come in your way that's going to try and get you to do this, and this. But it's like, what's important to you? You know, is it you becoming great, or is it you becoming great now, or is it you becoming greater later? You know, like it's right now. Your choices you make are right now. They're not tomorrow. Like, don't think about tomorrow. I've had this conversation with my friend Sarlico all the time. Sarlico is another rapper. You know, you can go find his music on Apple Music. Got to shout out, bro. But end of the day, like, we always had this conversation about time, like how time isn't real. And time really isn't real. You only have the present moment, right? You only got right now. And it's like, you got to choose. Do you want to become greater today? You want to start on that path to greatness today? Or you want to wait till tomorrow? Like I told you, tomorrow will never come. Because by the time it's tomorrow, it's today. And if you're not moving today, you ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not really getting nowhere. You feel me? So, back to scheduling, like, us as human beings, we're already prone to following directions. Like, that's already something that we do. Like, whether, like, taking it back to school, like, in school, we're told to follow it, like, to get in a straight line. We're told to write inside the lines, draw inside the lines, color inside the lines. We're taught to, like, obey authority in school as children. So why don't you view yourself as that authoritative figure in your life? Like, why don't you become the manager of your own life? Like, create the consistency for your own life. The curriculum was already set up for you in school, so set up this curriculum for yourself to become successful. It's the same ideology, you know, but you got to see it for yourself. Nobody can really make your schedule for you. That's on you, especially as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as a content creator, as somebody who wants to become the greatest NFL player, the NBA player, regardless, like whatever it is, you have to develop that sense of management for yourself. You have to develop that sense of pride for yourself. Like, it's all for you at the end of the day. And you have to develop the consistency because you want to be great, not just because everybody else wants you to be successful too. All right? And that being said, stay consistent. Like, once you realize what you want to be consistent in, once you realize where you're headed to in life, once you've picked up your niche, you know, like, once you realize who you are and where you want to go ahead, go forward and become consistent with it. Understand that it's going to take time for you to become, like completely devoted to where you're doing it every day. It's not like a overnight thing because we all still have, like, our own vices. We all still have our own ways of thinking, our own ways of moving that aren't really beneficial to our goals, right? But that's the process of life. It's an everyday progression. You have to continuously grow and continuously go after it. Like, after that higher version of yourself that you see, the consistency will get you there. But you have to learn how to develop it, you know? So, that's on you, right? I'll just hit to give you a quick little game, you know what I'm saying? It's been a pleasure. BMW SCO. I'll see y'all in the next one.
Check out Season 2 of the hit BMW Trading Podcast by DSCO every Wednesday on the HausHill Entertainment Networks. BMW Trading Podcast helps you gain more financial literacy to a better life. Head over to www.HausHillEntertainment.com or download the free HausHill Entertainment app exclusively for iPhone and Android devices.